Hello, yeah. I'd like to report an absolute freak on the loose in Sydney. The freak of filmmaking, the clown jester of filmmaking. Absolute freak, doesn't even have a tripod. What an absolute freak. Shouldn't he be shooting in 8K? You know, since I'm heading to Sydney, I might as well do something a little different and set myself some rules. The vows of chastity, as they call them.
How do you approach, working not on a set necessarily because your set's on the street?
At the film festival, that's literally what was said about my body of work. Yeah, But yeah, it really goes to show what you can do with such limited resources with good lighting. And the whole point of this, was to just kind of show what limitations you can use to get things going, to prove that you don't actually need a lot to make things nice when you have everything around you that's needed to make content.
I've been in the car for like a few minutes and I already feel like we're over-recording.
Are you gonna miss me?
I don't think you're gonna miss me. You're gonna be so busy with work.
I know.
So the whole gist of that scene was just to show one of the rules for this whole vlog. One of them being, no tripod, so everything has to be done using natural items as tripods. And then on top of that, one of the other rules is only one take. So this is the only take I'm gonna get of this moment. And to be honest, I don't even know if that's stable or looks, it looks a bit not symmetrical. That's totally gonna fall. That does not look stable at all. But there's one thing about vlogging that isn't really discussed as much, and I think it's, personally, I found when I start filming and I'm deep in it, like there's no worry about bills or family or those usual anxieties about life. When you're vlogging, you just kind of disappear. Like you really get a chance to disappear. I mean, that's what travel's about too.
I got so caught in vlogging that I kind of lost track of time, and got to run to my gate now.
So one little trick that I use, I take all my chargers and everything, chuck it in my pockets. That's how you keep under that 7 kgs. And we are doing this cinematic vlog in Sydney. I really hope that this shot works out, because as one of the rules I set was that I can't do another take. I only got one shot at this monologue and making it work. So this is all off the top of the dome, and I really hope that this is good enough. So yeah, Sydney.
And I'm in Sydney. All right, let's get this going.
At some point, it's gonna fall, all right? We perform our own stunts in these videos. For example, my partner, they had a work trip, and that's why they're not with me now. But instead of being like, I'm gonna stay in Melbourne and rest or whatever, I thought, I'm just gonna book a flight to Sydney and we'll head to the airport together and we'll go our separate ways there. And here I am, doing this cinematic vlog. Different kind of vibe, different kind of episode. The fact that I wanna do this with the whole, rules, the vows of chastity as they call it. For example, right, if you can only do one take of everything, that actually means that you kind of have to move on if you miss the moment. And that's what I've been doing. Like, I've been moving on when something doesn't, trying to get shots off the train and they didn't work, so I had to just walk on. Like, I only got one take. That was pretty much it. I swear, every time I come to Sydney, I'm still exactly the same. Like, every time I fully go into tourist mode, even though I've been here so many times. It's just the same every time. I just go full tourist, You know I love getting Foley. I think I might have to do the 1-minute tracking shot on the tram. It will probably be a really nice shot if I can pull it off. Lars von Trier and Thomas Vinterberg's Dogma movement in 1995. This is so much harder than I thought it would be. I just want to talk about cinema history And the audio keeps getting cut off. This is going to be... It's either I do the 1 minute tracking shot on the tram or I do it on the ferry, but it has to be, like, it has to come out how I want it to, you know? As a filmmaker, I take pride in that kind of thing, and yeah, this is just not it already. I already know that's a fail. The whole one take thing makes it really hard. Really not going to use this as a tripod anymore. I think I'm pretty much done with using the luggage as a tripod. I think I'm kind of over lugging it around. There's many tripods I can use. Concrete block, just benches. You're also about to see the most ridiculous hotel ever. I'm literally just here to drop my luggage off and go. Come back when I'm hungover and then pass out, you know? Spontaneity can be found anywhere. We actually met on Depop months ago, where I picked up a capital piece from them. It was a really nice jacket. Anyway, we'd stayed in touch, and now with me in Sydney. But what I'm trying to do is bring back some of my kind of rawness that you'd find in my independent feature films. So what you're going to see in this episode is probably some imperfections. You're going to see random people in the background. You're going to see all those things that, you know, that happen with the real world, because I wanted to do something a little bit more unhinged with my vlogging. Like, for example, you know, the real world interacts with cinema. You got people doing their thing everywhere. This is like French New Wave cinema. You're using the real world as part of your production design, set, all that. That's something you get when you kind of do things in the moment. Gabriel Murphy is a very talented filmmaker and friend, and they also happen to live in Sydney, so what a great time to catch up.
To all viewers of Matthew Victor Parsons vlogs,
I'm gonna cut the audio.
This is just completely edited.
I'm going to cut that.
Read my lips.
I'm going to cut the audio. And the rest of it, it's like you don't have to do it.
So cute.
It is. It's like it's a little baby camera, right?
I love tiny cameras.
Need a POV where it's like this. Next camera I want to get is like the Fuji S106.
35 quid.
Yeah, 35 quid. It's like $60, bro.
I feel like I'm just moving for the sake of moving. It's like something. For me, I'm just trying to find these little moments in everyday life when I do a vlog, whether it be my shadow or a bit of sunlight or a ray of light or an expression on a person's face or a micro expression. I was not recording. I hate when that happens. That looks like something. Everyone is their own capsule. There's no right or wrong way to live. Everyone online seems to know for certain, but they've all got a product to sell. If my small capsule, these visual images of my day give you connection, then it was made for you. You see, not long ago, this very tracking shot, it would not have been possible unless I had big equipment and gear. This very tracking shot wouldn't have been possible with a 10-second setup time. I can make poetry in the moment now. I've surpassed my old rituals, my procrastination, my judgment. I can now film anything and everything. My capsule, I don't ever miss a moment. I live in my visual images, and although this admission is futile, it's the best way for me to live. There are people I'll capture, and we will share a capsule together for a moment, documented in time until we are no longer here, and I'm forgotten. We'll see a lamp in the night. Maybe someone will be inspired to make their own, inspired to dream, inspired to sleepwalk alongside me. And that was a little poem from my capsule, the coffin that I stayed in. Even though I just started this cinematic vlogging journey a few months ago, I felt like I was getting caught up in perfection, going over every edit and every take. And yeah, these rules, they were made for me, but also for anyone else who needs to see this. So make a silly face, book a flight, Throw a pillow off your balcony. Just do something random, just try it. Anyway, so Mr. Lonely is this beautiful film where characters play these different impersonators. There's this really great scene in the film where one of the characters, the Michael Jackson impersonator, is leaving a home that he'd stayed in for a long time. And he starts thanking like inanimate objects in the room. He starts thanking his chair, he starts thanking his window.
You've been really nice to me. You served me well. The chair was nice to sit upon. The bed was good comfort at nights. And the windows allowed me to see the world.
Well, pretty much inanimate object. But the poetry in that scene always hits me really hard, and thinks of that kind of melancholy and thinks about that kind of, that kind of poetry. It really hit me, and I found it so beautiful. But you see, that's the power of cinema. If you were to look at that script, you'd probably be like, what? But like, and some people would think it's nonsensical. Some people might even literally be like, what was that scene? Like, what was the point? But that scene hit me really hard. Cinema is so vast, and there's a bird friend. That's really cool. Yeah, I have no idea if this shot worked. I am like extremely worried that I'm super backlit, but we will see. We'll see when I look at the monologue. So what's the point of rules or this trip or why I make art or why you make art? Am I sleepwalking through a digital world? With day 1